Face your fears. I don't know what to do anymore. I've tried everything to get rid of this feeling of existential dread that's been haunting me for weeks, but nothing seems to work. I've gone to therapy, tried meditation, and even started taking medication, but nothing seems to shake this feeling that something is fundamentally wrong with the world. And now, I'm turning to the internet for help. I stumbled across this forum in my search for answers, and I'm hoping that someone here can shed some light on what's been happening to me. It started a few weeks ago with a creeping sense of unease, a feeling like I was being watched even when I was alone. But then it started to escalate. I started having vivid, terrifying nightmares that left me shaken and disoriented when I woke up. In these dreams, I'm alone in a vast, empty void. I can't see or hear anything, but I know that I'm being watched. And as the dream goes on, the feeling of being observed becomes more and more intense until it's almost suffocating. At first, I tried to ignore it, to tell myself that it was just my imagination. But the feeling persisted, and I started to become obsessed with finding the source of my discomfort. I spent hours on the internet, trying to find some explanation for what I was feeling. And that's when I stumbled across this forum. There are others here who feel the same way that I do, who believe that something is coming, something terrible that will change everything we know about the world. They speak of ancient gods and cosmic horrors that lurk just beyond our understanding. At first, I was skeptical. But as I read more and more of the posts, I started to feel a sense of kinship with these strangers. They seem to understand what I'm going through in a way that no one else does. But then things started happening. Small things at first, like objects moving when I wasn't looking or doors opening and closing on their own. But then it escalated. I started hearing whispers in my ear when no one else was around, and I started seeing things out of the corner of my eye. Dark, shadowy figures that disappear when I turn to face them. I know that something is wrong, that I'm in danger. But I can't tear myself away from this forum. It's like I'm addicted to the promise of knowledge, of understanding what's happening to me. But now I'm afraid that it's too late. Something has taken hold of me, something that I can't escape. Last night, I had the most vivid nightmare yet. I was standing in front of a dark, ominous portal, and I knew that I had to step through it. I could feel the darkness calling to me, urging me to take that final step. But something held me back, a feeling of terror that I couldn't shake. When I woke up this morning, I realized that everything has changed. The world around me is different, twisted and distorted in ways that I can't comprehend. And in the midst of the chaos, I realized that the forum was right all along. There is something coming, something that will change everything we know about the world. And I'm afraid that I'm not ready for it. But it was when I left my apartment this morning that I knew something was truly wrong. The world outside looked different, almost like a nightmare come to life. The buildings were twisted and gnarled, the sky was a sickly shade of green, and the air was thick with an acrid smell that made my eyes water. And as I walked down the street, I felt eyes on me. Everywhere I looked, I saw shadowy figures lurking just out of sight, watching me with malevolent intent. They moved with an unnatural grace, almost like they were gliding instead of walking. And when I turned to face them, they vanished into thin air. I knew then that I had to get out of there, that I had to find a way to escape this nightmare. But as I tried to run, I found that my legs wouldn't move. It was like I was rooted to the spot, trapped in this distorted version of reality. That's when they appeared. The beings from beyond, the ones that had been haunting me in my nightmares. They were unlike anything I had ever seen before. They were tall and thin, with elongated limbs and skin as black as the void. Their eyes glowed with an otherworldly light, and their mouths twisted into cruel, jagged smiles. I tried to scream, to call out for help, but my voice was caught in my throat. And then they descended on me, their long fingers digging into my flesh, tearing at me with a savage glee. I felt pain like I had never felt before, and I knew that I was going to die. But then something miraculous happened. A light appeared, shining like a beacon in the darkness. And with a great effort, I managed to break free from the grasp of the beings and stumbled towards the light. As I got closer, I realized that it was a portal, just like the one from my nightmares. and without hesitation, I stepped through it. When I emerged on the other side, I was in a completely different world. The air was clean and fresh, and the sky was a brilliant shade of blue. And as I looked around, I realized that everything was normal again. The buildings were straight and true, and there were no shadowy figures lurking in the corners. I'm back at home, writing this now, but I know that I can't stay here forever. I know that those beings are still out there, waiting for me to let my guard down. And I know that I have to find a way to stop them before they can do any more harm. So I'm reaching out to all of you for help. Have any of you experienced something like this before? Do you know how to stop these beings from beyond? I'm desperate for answers, and I'm hoping that someone out there can help me.